These are the great wing shooting destinations of the world, steeped in tradition, offering the pinnacle of shotgun sport. Tour the planet with us.
Hi, I'm Chris Bartha. Welcome to the Corswell Estate on the southwest coast of Scotland, where we're going to sample some of the finest pheasant shooting anywhere in the world.
This is Port Patrick, Scotland. It's a region of the British Isles as far south and west as the roads will take you on the Scottish mainland. This is a picturesque land where the Atlantic meets the Irish Sea. This stunning countryside brims with history and beauty and a multitude of game birds. For 3 days, Chris Batha and his group of guns have been hunting the 3,000 plus acres of Corswell Estate and enjoying great success.
I can't think of anything more exciting. I've shot all over the world, but when you see high-driven pheasant like this, and the numbers, the sheer volume,
the most recognized Scottish tradition is gunning driven birds, and that's the sport in which Team Batha has reveled so far. But today holds an equally exciting, albeit lesser known form of Scottish hunting. The group will walk up a mixed bag of pheasants, partridge, snipe, woodcock, and perhaps even a hare or two.
we're on the boundaries of the Corswell Estate. We're not actually in the heart of it. And what we're looking to do is we're going to hunt the boundaries. They call this walked-up shooting or rough shooting, similar to the upland bird shooting that most American hunters would recognize. It's more of the sort of casual than the formal driven days, where we go out, the guns will walk and hunt over the dogs, what the dogs flush. They'll do a hunt and stand where they're almost working like blockers if you were hunting pheasant in Dakota, and some of the other guns will walk through small spinnies and coppices. So it's basically, it's a small day that fills in around the big formal driven days. What they've got is they've got a little bog down in this dip here, and they're going to put the guns out in a circle, and then the two guns that went walking with the beaters are going to come over that hill, and then a couple of the gamekeepers are going to come down through the hollow and drive it towards us. Now these are truly wild birds. Any noise, they'll be gone. So it's like a mini driven day as such. There's a snipe now. See, we've got to be very careful getting into place. So we'll see how we get on. Should be quite exciting.
Okay then, forward nice and steady, just let the dogs work gently.
Oh, lovely bird! Nice shot, Stephanie!
This reminds me of quail hunting in the south. The birds are big and they're flying a lot faster than you think they are, and so to me they look easy to hit, but they're not. And it's really interesting because you're walking, you're carrying your gun, and you're trying not to step into a bog that you could potentially, it's not likely, but you could potentially, and just trying not to fall. It's just it's not like any land I've ever walked in before carrying a gun.
Steady, work it out, steady.
The principal role of a gamekeeper is really, to start with, through the early part of the season, is more conservation. Basically then we start from there, fetching beaters in, stops, going out, putting out on hedgerows to stop birds from wandering out certain ways that we're not wanting them to go. Then we're looking at the guns arriving at 9, they come in, draw their pegs, go through the routine, the safety speech, no low birds, everything is all fetched through by my boss regarding that, and then from there the beaters are put round the back. There's stops, flagmen in various places to push the birds, try and get the birds to show as high as possible. Each individual drive, we're trying to get everybody into the shooting as much as possible, and the flags, although they maybe look to the outside eye as though somebody's just stood out in the field waving a flag, they're actually doing quite an important job there.
I like the rough shooting. You get to walk, you get to see the dogs work, you interact with the beaters and the keeper much more, and your fellow guns, and it's actually one of my favourites. I really like the rough shooting.
Good job. Dead.
The draw that brings people here to shoot pheasant in Scotland is the terrain. You've got these wonderful high hills and wonderful coppices and great cover for the birds, so you get fantastic pheasant here.
As the guns make their way in from the morning's jaunt, another Scottish tradition awaits.
Yeah, you got to try this. This is good stuff.
Little slow Jim. At the end of the second drive, it's traditional to all get together around the shoot break and sample a slow gin. They refer to it as a swing lubricator, and on a nice brisk morning, you know, it warms, thins the blood and warms you up a little bit as well. You can take the gloves off after a slow gin.
From the literally breathtaking crispness of a Scottish seaside morning to the camaraderie of the guns and guides, this is a sport all about tradition.
Yeah.
Now it's on to the next challenge. The west coast of Scotland is known for its lochs and natural beauty. It's also known for some of the finest game shooting in Europe. The endless fields and rolling hills of Corswall Estate have shared it all with Chris Batha and the team of guns he's brought to Port Patrick.
You know, the people who are here this week with me, and a lot of the time, are people that I've done gun fittings for, sold guns to, shooting schools, and we've built, you know, they've been on other hunts in other countries with me, and we've built relationships and friendships over the years. And so when you come here with them and you have this sort of like long-term relationship, and you see them starting off, some of them who hadn't shot before or some who were shooting badly, and you share the journey with them, oh, you know, yes, that's what it's all about. That's a buzz.
I've been coming over here for 25 years, and I've just found the Scottish people are the most friendly people in the world. The countryside, when you look at this view, is, you just can't compare it.
Steeped in European tradition from the guns to the setting to the clothes, this is the kind of walked-up hunt you only find in places like Western Scotland.
When you mix in a few of those beautiful ringneck pheasants climbing out against the sky, the background, I mean, the colours are just amazing. This is one of the most spectacular, beautiful days I've ever seen in my life. I have to say that it doesn't get much better than this. A little close, I think. A little too close reaction shot, you know. Should have given it the old you are dead and let it get applied 5-10 yards away. Would have been edible. I'll have to remember not to pick that one when it's my brace.
Good dog. Good dog. Fetch it. I personally enjoy the walked up far better because you actually get a lot more view of the dogs working, and from my point of view there's far less pressure on the walked up shooting rather than the driven shooting. Wind, sun, cloud can make all the difference to the day being, on that particular drive, being a success or maybe not as much of a success.
Oh, nice shot, sir!
Chris relishes opportunities like this hunt with good friends. He counts Mike Tuttle from Texas as one of them. Chris and Mike have shot together in Argentina and elsewhere. Scotland is just another exciting chapter for them.
I'll finish them for you.
Yeah, I appreciate you shooting them for me. I'm just trying to point them for you, let you know where they are. I didn't know if you saw those, so I thought if I shot at them, you'd see them. Some people don't appreciate that kind of help, but I thought you would. Finally, pay dirt, jeepers.
Quick! Oh, nice shot!
That was a little too easy there.
What do you think of it? Pretty? Yeah.
Oh, this is gorgeous, gorgeous. But you know, you just know they had to be a lot there at the last second. It's too pretty not to have them, and then all of a sudden, just bam, bam, bam.
Not the volume of Argentina, Mike.
Well, it's not, but there's such a variety. We've had, what, 4 different types of shoots today in just one day. I mean, what fun.
Yeah, incredible. Must have really enjoyed it.
Scotland is more than 31,000 square miles of history and tradition. And for a wing shooter, it is perfection. Chris Batha and his bevy of hunters are walking the fields in search of varied game. Rough shooting, as it's also called.
What we're going to do this morning, we're going to do, the boys are going to walk this field in out here, just push all these birds off that are sitting out on the field and walk up the marshy ground behind for sniping pheasants. Okay?
Great colours today.
Yes, just beautiful. Just beautiful. You know, I was telling Chris earlier that if I had no gun and just to walk out here with the dogs and chat, I would have been in heaven as well. I mean, it couldn't be better than this. This is just, I mean, where do you find scenery like this?
You know, if you weren't carrying guns, you'd just love to walk down there this morning. After that, the early hard frost, the spectacular clear skies and the colours, the reflection off the water on the lochs and the sun bouncing off those pastures on the farmland. Just, you know, the camaraderie and the friendship.
The walk-up shooting, it's much more difficult than the walk-up shooting you're going to get in North, South Dakota. It just, you know, pales by comparison.
Well, you think they'd be stacked in there like cordwood.
It's a little rough going, but that's what makes it fun when the birds get up out of that rough stuff, because sometimes they're right in front of you and you don't know it.
Ah, I thought we had that bird. I didn't even go down for the second shot.
Perfect wetland for snipe and woodcock, and we saw some magnificent flushes. There was a group of about 15 that got up snipe and continued to put up 1s, 2s and 3s, and Griff himself, who was shooting next to me, made a spectacular high. I mean, that bird must have been 35, 40 yards up and killed it dead. spectacular shot to witness.
This morning was excellent walk-up rough shooting. I mean, that was outstanding. The birds were great. The weather was just spectacular. The dogs worked just incredibly well. You know, they quartered about 20 yards in front of us as they're supposed to do. They stopped when they were supposed to. The birds flushed without us losing them. It was just a grand day for walk-up shooting.
On this particular morning, Griff Jenkins hopes to find a woodcock, a bird that has eluded him for a long, long time.
We're going to line around the back of this ditch, around here. The boys are going to bring this towards us, okay?
Okay, great. Bon chance, gentlemen. Shoot straight, shoot often, and most importantly, shoot safely.
That's the important part.
Hello.
Missed him cleanly. We actually got one woodcock did get up, which has been my dream for 25 years to get, but he eluded me as usual. But we did get some snipe, and that was good fun. So I was very, very pleased.
This visit to Scotland has provided many memories for these hunters, but there are still as many more to make. Chris Batha and his group of hunters have been pleased to find there's even more to Scotland than sheer beauty. There have been plenty of birds to keep their guns popping.
Yes! Nice shot.
Consummate teacher, Chris always finds time to share his expertise. On this push for partridge, he helps his friend Larry hone his skills.
Hey, hi Larry.
Hey, Chris.
This is going to be a great drive. Great partridge drive. Perfect partridge country. What we've got here is we're out in basically a semicircular U-shape, circling this sort of gentle rising pasture, and over the back will be some long strips of cover crops, and the partridges. Here you go, get ready, here they come. Heads up. Now through it. Go through it. Right now. Quick. It's exciting stuff, I gotta say. You know, when you see those, the coveys are little sort of grey bombers, aren't they? Just bomb bursting all over you, flying in all directions. Here's another one coming. Yeah, no, through him. I tell you what, you lost his gun then. If you put it on the bird, that gives you its speed and line of flight, and then you just brush out in front. Okay. And putting it in front is what I call a poke and hope. This one, on his beak. Beak! Oh, thank you. I think you got that one. A beak. Ooh. Wait, not too soon. On his head and in front. In front. Open up.
Most people, they get in a situation where they're hunting the same birds or the same clay course or the same group of people. And over here, it's really, everything you've learned kind of comes into play. You're getting ready, you're tuning your equipment, you're getting used to your technique, and then you come out here in a totally different environment, different birds, different people, different setting, and you really get a chance to put it into action. So it's a lot of fun.
Every time
the traditions in Scotland live not only in the fields, but in the pubs as well, where they know how to make a proper pour at the end of the day. Then it's on to dinner and the chance to see some firearms that are truly works of art. It's been a great time for all here in Scotland. The hunt was good, the scenery spectacular, and the company grand. Few hunting excursions are summed up with a cartridge count or the tally of game bagged, and this is no exception. The important thing is the total experience. Here in the valleys and fields of Loch Ryan, we made wonderful memories to last forever.
You know, every country's got its own beauty, and Scotland is exactly what I dreamed of. Just beautiful, lush, green, everywhere you look.
Perhaps it can best be said in the words of poet Jeanette Simpson. "Oh, Scotland, how I long to walk your highlands and your glens, to watch the flowers in your meadows wave in the breeze, to hear the ocean waves noisily kiss the shores of your western skies, to sift the sands of your beaches through my fingers, to see the rainbows after your showers, and to feel your history surround me."